the time I'm doing this video, we are 3 days into the year 2026, January the 3rd, 2026. And Donald Trump, without any authorization of Congress and breaking the United States Constitution again, decided in the middle of the night to launch an attack on Venezuela, killing Venezuelan civilians and kidnapping its leader, President Nicolas Maduro. Per his Truth Social post, the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolas Maduro, who has been along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. He says he's going to do a press conference. I'm not going to watch the press conference because we know he's full of shit. Trump, it hasn't been a full damned week into 2026 and already has pretty much set the stage for World War III. Let me give you the international reaction to what could possibly happen to this. China, right now, is stepping up its military exercises for a possible attack against Taiwan. Right now, Russia, continuing its military campaign against the Ukraine, is thinking about attacking other targets in Europe. And one of those targets could be possibly a NATO ally, and then we will be at war. Trump has destabilized world peace. And this moron doesn't understand what could possibly happen. But here at home, Donald Trump has completely taken this action in direct violation of the United States Constitution. The land operations that he committed had to be approved by Congress. Because this, whether he understands it or not, whether his supporters understand it or not, actually, no, they don't understand it. They're just the kill them all and let God somewhere out type of people. This was a direct and complete act of war. And if you think that Venezuela or any of their allies won't retaliate for this, you're wrong. But I want to quote a senior Trump official. If he were to authorize some activity on land, then it's war. Then we need Congress. And the person who said that quote was the Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles. You broke the law again, Trump, circumventing Congress to do your strikes. But I want to quote to you Bernie Sanders, the senator from Vermont. And quite honestly, this should be scathing. And I quote, Donald Trump has once again showed his contempt for the United States Constitution and the rule of law. The President of the United States does not have the right to unilaterally take this country to war, even against a corrupt and brutal dictator like Maduro. The United States does not have the right, as Trump stated this morning, to run Venezuela. Congress must immediately pass the War Powers Resolution to end this illegal military operation and reassert its constitutional responsibilities. Trump's attack on Venezuela will make the United States and the world less safe. This brazen violation of international law gives the green light to any nation on earth that may want to attack another country to seize their resources or change their governments. And I want you to pay attention to the next sentence very, very carefully. This is the horrific logic of force that Putin used to justify his brutal attack on Ukraine. Honestly, Trump, you're trying to be like your friend, Vladimir Putin. Vlad did it, so why can't I do it? Well, you fucking 5, Trump? Trump and his administration have often said they want to revive the Monroe Doctrine, claiming the United States has the right to dominate the affairs of the hemisphere. They have spoken openly about controlling Venezuela's oil reserves, the largest in the world. This is rank imperialism. It recalls the darkest chapters of U.S. interventions in Latin America, which has left a terrible legacy. It will and should be condemned by the democratic world. Trump campaigned on an American First platform. He claimed to be the peace candidate at a time where 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, when our healthcare system is collapsing, when people cannot afford housing, and when AI threatens millions of jobs. It is time for the president to focus on the crisis facing this country and end this military adventurism abroad. Trump is failing at his job to run the United States. He should not be trying to run Venezuela, unquote. Trump, considering the fact you're trying to run Venezuela because of oil, I think it's much more than that little tangential objective of yours. What you're trying to do is the fact is you're trying to distract the American people from the fact that we know that you're in the Epstein files. We know that your health is failing. We know the simple fact that your entire presidency is faltering. But this is an overt act of war, and you will be personally responsible for the fallout that happens next. You really think that other nations aren't going to take your cue, Trump? Because you want to be Vladimir Putin so bad? You want to waste your time trying to use the excuse of taking out narco terrorists. You're trying to get the narcos. But in the end of the day, who have you really taken out? Civilians who have nothing to do with drug dealers. Now, I'm not going on the defense of Maduro. I am not doing that. The man's a pig. But for you to do something completely unauthorized by Congress in violation of the United States Constitution and making us look like a rogue nation only invites other nations to treat us as such. You really think that something like this isn't going to come back at us? This is the reason why you need to be removed as president. Why Republicans need to get off their asses and get off their knees, worshiping you, among other things that people would do on their knees, and remove you from office with the 25th Amendment. This is a blatant violation of the Constitution, and whether the Republican Party or the MAGA understand this or not, the Constitution still reigns in our country. We are barely 3 days into the year 2026, and Donald Trump is setting the stage for World War III. That does not mean being hyperbolic or hysterical. Those are the facts. Trump had no authorization to do this. Trump had no reason to do this. But he did because he's a failing president, both mentally, physically, and politically. And trust me, the time is going to come when all of this is going to come back at us. And it won't be Trump who suffers, it will be the American people who suffer. That is not a hyperbolic threat. That's not me being hysterical. That is the truth. It's unfortunate because past presidents, regardless of their political agendas, would never do anything this stupid. Even when Bush, too, decided to take us into war against the wrong enemy after the 9/11 nightmare, even he understood what he was planning to do. Trump, you have no understanding. You don't care. As long as people are distracted from the Epstein files, or your failing mental and physical health, and your failing presidency, it doesn't matter. You're a war criminal, Trump. And one day or another, you and the rest of your administration that goes along with this, I'm talking everyone, from Pam Bundy to Pete Hegseth, all of you will be held responsible and called to account. If you want to take that as some kind of a threat, go right ahead. But this insanity, one way or another, is going to stop. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.